We're looking at a 2005 Honda Pilot with a power steering leak and a funny noise. That doesn't sound good. Let's take the belt off. That still doesn't sound good. Well, this is definitely not good. Shouldn't be that much play in a timing belt. Well, here we have my pry bar up against that bolt there, braced against the ground. I'm gonna try and undo the crankshaft pulley bolt. Try again. Not so tough now, are you, Honda? Alright, let's pull off the top timing cover right here. Now that I've got all the bolts out, every one of them was a pain. Alright, before I take it apart, I've got the timing marks lined up right at the top on the crankshaft pulley. For the front camshaft sprocket, I got the timing mark lined up on the top right there. And for the rear cam, I got the line mark lined up right on the top there. Need to remove this motor mount. This looks like it could use a new motor mount also. Yeah, this engine mount is done for. Alright, let's undo this part of the engine mount. Okay, I think I'll take out the tensioner first. Alright, that let loose. That's the tensioner. Is that leaking? Maybe that's why it was sloppy. Well, here's the belt that was in there. I'd advise you not to wait 167,000 miles between changes. So on this hydraulic tensioner, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to push it in like this. You ever have those days where you're like, I don't know if I can make it into work till like 4:30 today. Your boss is like, oh, I totally understand. You got a life to live too. That's cool. Just show up whenever you feel like it. Get a little bit of work done. Lose another 10mm socket, you know, that's how it goes. Where in the heck did that thing go? It was right there. Look at this. It's gone. You gotta be kidding me. I have no idea where it went. Well guys, I give up. Can't find it. I had my flashlight and inspection mirror looking all over. Don't know where it went. It's gone. Teleported into another dimension or something. Who knows? But, ow, dang it. Oh, my elbow. Yeah, that socket's gone. 10mm 1/4" drive with the green electrical tape on it. At least the nut stayed behind. It's not often you catch the disappearance of a 10mm socket on camera. There's a woodruff key right there. Don't want to lose that. There's the seal there. That thing I'm going to change. I don't trust it to last another 80,000 miles given that this is a 2005 and it's already got 282,000 miles on it. I'm going to put a new one in regardless of if it needs it or not. Yeah, someone once told me, someone that owned a shop said, we don't replace parts unnecessarily. I'm like, got to thinking about it. Yeah, good mechanics do replace parts that don't need to be replaced. Like this seal, this crankshaft seal. Yeah, if that thing goes in 10,000 miles, then you'll be doing this job over again. Checking to make sure the new seal, it looks like it's the right size. Yeah, that looks good. They sold me this with the label on it that said seal removal tool. They should have called it a don't worky. If anyone has a better way of doing this, let me know. But this is the best way I know of to get these seals out. There, now you can see, huh? Take not really sheetrock, but a construction screw, I guess they call it. Whatever it is. And there's the seal. And the grease goes all around the inside there. Slide it on there, make sure the seal does not fold over. There we go. Till it's right there. Now I have to find something that's the right size to pop that in there. Just so happens that a 1 3/4 socket fits. I'll get my little rubber mallet there and tap that into place. That seal should be good for another 10 years, 100,000 miles at least. Of course, I don't know if we'll be driving this car in 2032. This guy here. That guy goes there. Some of this blue stuff on there. Oh, that one tried to get away. Caught this guy before he went all the way down the driveway. Yeah, it's a 10. It's day 2 of the search for the missing 10mm socket. Check this out. See that? My 10mm socket. Alright, I'm going to take the cam sprocket off using my spanner wrench. Come on, I need 3 hands to do this job. And oh my goodness. I have to pull that cover off to get the seal. Alright, oh look at all that dirt in there. We'll have to clean that out. I think if I take these 2 off, I should be able to get at it. Hopefully without destroying my camera. Oh, the cam sensor right there. Back side of that. Now to do this cam seal right there. You know, I'm going to try that seal remover just to see how it doesn't work. Let's try this piece of engineering and see what it can do. Okay, this thing goes in like that first. And then we screw that part onto there, lock it in, and theoretically it should pull right out. You know, that's the first time that this tool has actually worked. A little bit of cleanup action here. Looks clean enough. All right, I have grease in the seal here, on the sealing surface. Pushed it in. See if this works. If you can't see, well, I can barely see it here either. I should have tried a 1.5 inch socket first. And Loctite on the threads. Okay kids, remember to brush the back side of your teeth. Even the front side has noticeable dirt buildup there. Why am I doing this? A clean car runs better. Don't believe me? Go detail your car by yourself. Don't hire it out. Do it by yourself. Get it all nice and clean inside and out. See if it runs better. And we'll also do Loctite on the threads here, just because we don't want this coming apart. Let's get this back on time right there. Very large spanner wrench again. That feels like it. 1 cam seal done. Let's get this homemade wrench on here. It's just supposed to pull right off. A little bit of wiggles there. Come on, come on, come on. Wiggle, 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 come on. There we go. No cam sensor on this side. Let's see if I can get this to work a second time. Stick that little lip right under the seal there. Down inside of there. Get this brace part tightened up right here. And then lift or pull back on it and the seal comes right out. Amazing, the second time this thing has actually worked. And it's dripping oil. Clean this out. Got the new seal here, and we'll grease up the inside there. Slide this on there. Alright, how do I press that other side? Ugh. There's like no room. Getting there. A little more on this side here. Yeah, it's starting to rain and my camera's not waterproof, so as long as it's not too windy and rainy, should be able to do this. Oh, we want to go at this angle. Yeah, that's a little better. Loctite these. Why all these parts on this car say RCA? Reminds me of Record Company of America, but can't be that. Some Loctite on that guy there. Should be enough to keep that in there. Timing belt, along with the water pump and all the pulleys. Water pump with a gasket, hydraulic tensioner, idler pulley, tensioner pulley, shim, new sticker, tensioner mount bolt, 19 foot-pounds, and more instructions right here. Let's take off this tensioner pulley first. I think I'll just get this idler pulley out of the way while I do the water pump. While the coolant's draining, I'm going to crack these loose. Radiator's getting close to empty, so I'll pull these bolts out. Alright, you ready to make a mess? You know what, this water pump doesn't need to be replaced, but I'm replacing it anyway. Didn't mean to make it panic there. Just kidding. That should do. Yep, that made a mess. How well do you think that gasket's going to stay in this groove during installation? I'm going to use a little of this RTV to help hold it in place. So there it is, just a little dab here and there, a few spots along the edge there. And pop that gasket right there and let this sit for a little bit till the RTV skins over and gets a little stickier, and then I'll install it. That should hold the gasket in while I install it. Shouldn't have any problems with it falling out while I mate this to the block and put the bolts in. Alright, let's pull this gasket off, the old one, or the old gasket off. Clean up the old gasket surface. Probably have to do more than just a paper towel. New water pump going in. There are these two dowel pins. There's one right here and one down on the bottom side. You just have to make sure that those line up so that it can go in. Let's get this top one situated. Come on, right there. And the one on the other side. Actually, let's take a look at the gasket. Yeah, it's still sitting exactly how I want it. All right, let's look at it again because, yeah, still looks good. All right. That top dowel pin seems to go in easy sometimes and won't go in other times. So it goes in, and now bottom dowel pin, come on. Let's see if we can give the bottom dowel pin a little bit of encouragement. We'll hold the top one in place right here. I think that's just what it needed. A little bit of you can do this, you can do it. You ever screw up at work and that mistake gets named after you? This is one of those. So there's this shim that goes between the idler pulley and the oil pump housing, just basically mounts under the idler pulley. And that's because the engineers didn't make sure it works the first time. So this is the fix. This is for the idler, a little bit of blue stuff. We got the idler pulley, bolt goes in, shim goes on, that says out, the outside goes out, and then we're gonna pop this guy in here with the shim. When you're tightened down, make sure that this thing spins freely and that you haven't gotten this off center. Need to torque that down. All right, this gets tightened up to 400 inch-pounds. Don't panic. That's 400. Next we'll install the tensioner pulley. This is the new one. And make sure that you reuse the old bushing from the old one there. It goes on the back side there. This one's 8mm threads and it gets torqued down to foot-pounds. So we'll mount this where the tensioner pulley goes. You know what I forgot? I'm going to add a little extra step here. Since it pivots on this bushing, I'm just going to add a little bit of brake caliper grease to make sure that it stays free and doesn't bind up. And I'll wipe off any excess right here. Add a little more Loctite. So the bolt presses against this bushing right here. And then the rest of it pivots on that. So the tensioner will push up on this. Now unfortunately, Gates does not provide us with any marks on the timing belt that line up with the marks on the cam and the crank pulley. So we're gonna have to just hope that everything aligns, and then once we put the tension on, double check, make sure all the line marks are on. So we start down there at the crank pulley, go over to the idler pulley, go over the front cam. Now at this point, I need to make sure that we don't have play on the crank or between these two, you know, where you can take up a tooth. So I'll see if I can pull back a little bit. Let me get this over the water pump first. I'm going to try and install this tensioner from the bottom side. Yeah, you just try and reach in there. Alright, I've double checked all the timing marks, and it's time to pull the pin on the tensioner. Why do I think of pomegranates when it's time to pull the pin? Come on, pin. Alright, be like that. Maybe this will pull the pin. No. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit of back pressure on this tensioner pulley. I'm going to stick this socket right there, pry down on this, relieve some pressure on the tensioner, or not. All right, let's try it this way. I'll set this on here. I'll use this pry bar and reach down here, push on the tensioner till it releases pressure, I think. Maybe a different pry bar. Actually, I'll just hold up right here, and maybe go like this. There we go. Giving it some constant pressure for a little bit, because it's hydraulic, you know, it doesn't like sudden changes. And now the pin comes out. Woohoo! Some groove marks on there where I was trying to pull it out. I took a look and it's perfect on all three marks, so we're good to start putting this back together. The timing cover goes on next. It requires 7 bolts. Next thing is this holds the timing belt aligned on the crank. That goes in next. Crankshaft pulley. Crankshaft pulley bolt. torque spec is 47 foot-pounds plus 60 degrees after that. There's 47. Now we just have to go 60 degrees beyond that. This is going to be my reference point right here. I'll stick that on there. Get my starting point right here, like that. I have to go 60 degrees beyond that, which is going to be right there. Doesn't have to be within 1 degree. Okay, let's go 60 degrees. Alright, I need to go another little bit, but it seems like they want it so tight because maybe a CEO's car had the crankshaft pulley come loose and then they were like, this will never happen again. We're going to go super tight. Alright, I don't want to go any tighter than that. That seems about right. Almost as much as it took to take it off. Alright, I'm going to turn this around by hand a few times and make sure everything seems cool. Well, that seems all right to me. All right, this is the scariest part of the job, starting it up. Sweet! No more funny rattling sounds. All right. Next, we'll start installing this engine mount. Uh-oh. The engine mount should have gone in before the timing cover. You see that? Timing cover fits against that. Fun for me. Now I gotta take off the crank pulley. Or maybe I don't have to take off the crank pulley. Maybe I can just stick it behind there. Just take off. Take this bolt off right here. There's one. Alright, I took out 4 bolts and now I can pry that back a little bit. Let's see what happens. I don't know if this is gonna work. Nope. Ah! Set that screw in there so that it wouldn't lose it and I'd know where it went.
Yeah, the campfire's right there ready.
You're gonna build a campfire in the front yard right next to the tree?
Yeah.
Huh.
Campfire's ready.
Campfire's ready? Is it burning?
No, not yet.
Not yet, huh?
Not yet. Yeah. Alright. The campfire's ready.
Now don't grab a wrench.
I'm not going to help you fix the wheel.
You want to help me fix the wheel? Uh-oh.
Let me...
Oh, McKay, don't close the hood. You almost smashed my fingers.
Oh boy, is he helping too much? Alright, let's get this cover on. That's in. And let's get this other kind of timing cover in. Let's get this tensioner in. Oh no! I put the crankshaft pulley on and that was out of the way when I pulled this out and it came through the bottom. What am I gonna do? Does it fit at all? Oh wow, look at that. Got the main one kind of started, now I gotta find the little one. Let's get this engine mount installed. This top bolt is a little tricky. Alright, got my wobbly. Top right here holds the bracket in. Bolt with the counterweight. New pump. Now let's see how the engine sounds after the repair. I'd say that sounds much better. I'm gonna try a new thing to clean up coconut oil. See how it goes. There. Oil and water still don't mix. Leave no trace. Scrubbing myself to death with the soap. Not too bad. The battle scars today. No blood. Coconut oil works pretty well.